Next item, discuss and approve the base wage increases for support staff for 2013-2014.
That's fine. We can share.
Nothing fancy here, no overhead presentations or PowerPoints or things like that, but it's really getting to be that time of year again where we start looking at salary increases for 2014. We have all the budget information in that we needed and thought we needed to be able to know where we're going. The CPI was set at 2.07%, and if we look at Act 10, regardless of what its status is right now, the district is only allowed to increase base salary by 2.07%, and that's what we are recommending, that we increase our support staff salaries or wages by 2.07%. For a total dollar increase of $74,536. If we look at that and break that down on an average, on an 8-hour day, the average annual salary increase equals about $723. On a 6-hour day, it's about $362. In a nutshell, as anybody who's reading, paying attention to the news in Wisconsin, there's challenges to Act 10 right now, and it's uncertain whether what the Supreme Court is going to do. There's been some challenges at the lower courts that the Supreme Court is starting to look at right now. Having said that, that still does not prevent the district from just moving forward and increasing wages of our support staff members. So at this point in time, again, we're recommending a 2.07% increase, calculated on what we would recognize as the WERC rules as they were last year before they expired. So we're, I think, staying as true to the Act 10 laws as we can, while also recognizing the CPI increase of 2.07% on base salaries, and recognizing that there is some, I don't know what to say, undecisiveness or some decisions that have to be made whether Act 10 is legal or not legal at this point in time. But we've reviewed it with our attorneys, and they feel comfortable that we could go ahead and make this offer.
And unlike with the professional staff, I mean, calculating base salary really isn't much of an issue, right?
It's straightforward.
So
unlike the professional salary where you have to move them back to starting and only give credit for those that have a master's that is required in the job that they're at, the pay for our support staff, whatever step they're at, technically is their base salary, so we're able to make that a relatively simple calculation. Let's just look at total dollars of total salaries. Take that times 2.07%, and that equals a $1 increase.
And so I guess my question was with respect to the WERC rules. It arguably makes it somewhat more fuzzy about the professional staff calculations, but for support staff, it really doesn't even come
The
into
laws
play.
apply the same. It's just that you don't have the complications like you're saying within the salary schedule that you see with the professional staff.
Okay, that's I guess what I was getting at. The salary schedule is just so much more simpler. There's not too much you can change even under the WERC rules.
Correct.
There's no shifting over or up and down. Okay.
If there were WERC rules, technically right now there are not WERC rules, so it's really it puts it's putting everybody in a very difficult position to know who's on first. I mean, truly right now we don't know if we have a union or don't have a union. We don't know who to bargain with, who not to bargain with, and that's all because of where everything is at, good, bad, or indifferent. It's making this process kind of miserable, so that's why we're just moving forward. And there's a lot of other issues tied to this. We want to close out our reporting for the 2000 fiscal year for our federal reports and our retirement reports, and if we don't do those things, in the end that will create more work and cost us more money because of the time that we'll have to put in there. So that's why we're moving forward today. The support staff are asking for your approval for that. And as we've talked about, this has been developed and is in the budget that you approved at the when you set the levy last month.
So we know the total dollar figure, which is the $74,536, and as it would have, you've given us the average on an 8-hour day, but as that's applied to each individual support staff member, it would
be a 2.07% on their
actual
hourly wage. Yes. Because those are all hourly wages, so it will differ for different support staff. I looked at that tonight, and it was just, there's no way you'd have to bring each individual person, or you would have 100 different scenarios of what those increases might look like.
Right.
So I thought the easiest thing would be able to, if you're making a comparison or wanting to compare that to potentially what the professional staff would look like once we get to that point in the game, you'd have an easy, fair enough comparison there. But the increase again is built, 2.07, strictly built on their individual hourly wage. So it's a real straightforward calculation.
Okay.
Nobody getting any more or less, depending on where they're currently at on an hourly basis.
Okay. Other questions? If not, I'd look for a motion to approve the base wage increases for support staff for 2013-14 as presented, and specifically that would be a 2.07% increase on actual base salary amounting to a total dollar increase of $74,536.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second then to approve that base wage increase for support staff as just presented for 2013-2014. Any other questions or comments?
And just as Greg said, that's already been budgeted in our 2013.
Yes. Yep. So what we looked at, it seems like 100 years ago, but it's not that long ago. I forget what the date was. End of October there was presented, the budget was presented with a CPI of 2.07.
That is, the 2.07 is based on the CPI. So
yes, correct.
That's what we can do.
Okay. Anything else? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, say no. The ayes have it, the motion carries, and so that base wage increase for the support staff is approved.